Have you ever heard yourself say, I can't use that word, it's overused. I can't say wellness. I can't say leadership development. I can't say transformation. I just need to say it in a different way. I know you may have said this or thought this because somewhere along the way you heard or were taught this idea that to stand out, you have to sound completely original. Often this is referred to as blue ocean marketing. If I talk about what I do in such a unique way, I will be in a blue ocean where customers and clients will find me and I won't be stuck in the red ocean full of competitors. I've learned the problem with this. When you use really creative words, you may avoid that red ocean full of sharks and competitors, but here's what happens. You don't find yourself in a fabulous blue ocean. You strand yourself in an empty ocean. Yeah, there are no sharks, but there are also no clients. So, in today's episode, I'm going to teach you the right way to think about blue ocean strategy, how to avoid the blue ocean messaging mistake, and how to make the simple shift that'll make your marketing and you instantly easier to understand, easier to trust, and faster to buy from. Let's do it. Welcome to the Establish Yourself podcast, the show that helps coaches and consultants get clear on how to talk about what you do, simplify your offers, and have more fun in your business and beyond. I'm Annie Franceschi, brand strategist, author, former Disney storyteller, and forever Muppet fan. I'm here to help you clarify your message, package your expertise, and streamline your systems to grow a business you actually enjoy. If you're ready for less confusion and more magic, it's time to establish yourself. Welcome back. This is the second episode in the Clarity Before Creativity series, and it is one I have been thinking about for the better part of a year because I have been seeing this mistake throughout my career, especially with coaches and consultants and anyone who sells their time. I know that you care. I know that you are smart, that you have real expertise. You are doing incredible, innovative things. And I totally understand the legitimate desire to differentiate yourself. You know, you don't want to sound like everybody else. You don't want to be just another coach. And I know you're not. But we got to talk about this because the coaching industry has a major jargon problem. And it's creating confusion, eye rolls, and crickets. So, yes, absolutely, differentiation matters. But I keep watching people sabotage themselves in the name and the defense of being unique. They've got a great service. They've got client results. They have happy clients. But then they go to their website or your LinkedIn headline or elevator pitch and you freeze because you worry about sounding like everybody else. So you start reaching for language that sounds elevated, creative, more accurate, more special. And I'm not at all here to say that any of these words are bad. It's that we're leading often with words that are not findable. They're not recognizable. They're not safe and assuring to the brain of the person that you are trying to reach. And this is exactly where blue ocean strategy gets misapplied. So, to catch you up, blue ocean strategy is a theory of marketing that was popularized in 2005. It was written by W. Chan Kim and Renee Moborn in their book, Blue Ocean Strategy. The big tagline of it is create untested market space and make the competition irrelevant. You've probably heard that red ocean, blue ocean framing before. Red ocean means you've got sharks in the water. That means you're competing head to head in an existing market for your services. A blue ocean, however, promises more open space, fewer direct competitors, if any, more opportunity. And yes, that idea makes a lot of sense. It's very appealing. And when it's applied well, it can be a really effective business strategy. But here's the twist. Most coaches, consultants, and service-based business owners didn't actually read the book and implement the strategy as it's intended as a market strategy. Instead, they've absorbed it as a messaging strategy. People have taken uncontested market space and turned it into, oh, that means I need to sound like no one else, and I need to use words that no one else uses, and I need to create a new category and use creative language because what I do is so innovative. And I want to be really clear here because there is nuance. Wanting to differentiate is very valid, but there's a real risk of overcorrecting, of trying so hard not to sound like everybody else that you stop using language that your ideal clients already are naturally using. And when you do that, here's what happens. You get so worried about being stuck in a red ocean that you strand yourself in an empty ocean. And this happens because clients can't find you if you don't use the words that they're already naturally using. What are they naturally typing into Google? Or what are they naturally already saying to their colleague? Or what are they organically thinking at 2 in the morning when they are stressed out? So, yes, you might have chosen unique words to talk about what you do, but if they're too unique and your clients don't understand it, you're also invisible. So here is the reframe I want to give you today. Blue ocean strategy is about innovating your solution, not using unfamiliar language to market it. Your innovation is real. Your approach can be distinct and different. Your method can be the better, smarter way. But the bridge you need to always have to your clients is clarity. And clarity means speaking to problems they already recognize, using language that they already naturally use, creating context they can understand quickly. I often will say that clarity and context have to come before creativity because without them, your clients don't see themselves in what you're offering. No one is going to be open to your innovation until they feel like and clearly get that it applies to them. One of the biggest pushbacks I hear all the time, even with my private clients, is I can't use that word. It's too overused. I need like a buzzer to be like, buzz, 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 buzz. I've heard it. I've heard it. Heard it time and time and again. And it's one of my biggest hills I'll die on because what you feel and worry about is overused is often the exact language that your clients use to naturally explain their problems, their concerns, or even their passions, the things that they want. So the solution isn't to avoid these words, it's to ground them in how you talk about what you do, to add context, specificity, to attach them to real problems. Because a really important nuance of this conversation is that for many of us, our people are far more problem aware, not solution aware. So, what that means is that they're not searching for your poetic framing, they are searching for what naturally feels most obvious to them. Like, if you wake up with a toothache, you don't think, I need a tooth alignment optimization specialist. You think, I gotta call a dentist. So, if your clients are waking up with service based toothaches, your job is to make sure that your marketing is recognizable, that your marketing is centered on the problem. So, when people come across it, they go, oh, you get it. You get what's going on with me. That's not boring. That is effective. When Apple was selling the iPod, not the iPad, the iPod, they didn't use a bunch of fancy technical, look how special and innovative we are language. They simply said, put 1,000 songs in your pocket. That is not creative for creativity's sake. It is clear, concrete, instantly understandable. It is still innovative, but it is also obvious. That is what great, strong messaging does. Translate your brilliance into something your real clients can grab onto and relate to in 2 seconds or less. Being a blue ocean company, you still are going to need to solve real needs and use real language. Think about Uber and Lyft. They have innovated private transportation by removing friction from the process. They took away uncertainty, the awkwardness of how you pay, the inconsistent service, the unclear, non transparent pricing, the where is my driver of it all when taxis and expensive private car services were the only options. They've innovated that need and experience. But even so, they didn't and they don't market themselves with overly clever language. That is not how they innovate. That is not how they get their customers' attention. They still have to speak to people who otherwise would take taxis. And that means that they always have had to use relatable framing, real world language. Get a ride, request a driver, upfront pricing, rate your trip. Blue ocean doesn't mean we make up a new vocabulary. Blue ocean means we make the solution better and clearer and easier. We package it more clearly, smartly, we deliver it better. If your message is purely creative and lacks context, you may sound interesting, but you don't sound hireable. This example is personal because I have made this mistake. Many years ago, I used to go out and network and speak and position myself as a business storyteller. And yeah, that is true. I do that. It's accurate, it's cool, it's very Disney, it's very me. But it didn't get me as many clients as when I got boring, clear, and relatable. Now, what I say and what has served me well is hey, I do branding for coaches and consultants. I help you get clear on how you talk about what you do and what you offer. It's boring and basic, but people recognize themselves in that. That might literally be why you are listening to me right now, because I am not positioning myself as your chief storytelling officer. I am literally sharing with you that I am here to help you with a very relatable challenge. How do you talk about what you do? How do you package your services in clear, compelling ways? And that's really the heartbreak of all of this that I see all the time. Without fail, I'll go to a networking event and I will see someone get up with the most overly creative elevator pitch and it'll break my heart because I'll watch them. They'll get applause and visibility, but no conversions. And I often call this getting applause but not action, or reactions don't equal revenue. Because the people you want to serve, your ideal clients, your ideal organizations, they have to see themselves in what you're saying. It's not about impressing people, it's about connecting with them. And I will die on that hill every single time. If you are getting applause and people saying that's so interesting, but they are not calling you and they are not hiring you, this is why. It is the blue ocean messaging mistake. You don't need to be afraid of being boring. You need to be afraid of applause without action. You want your client's brain to say, "Ha, that is me." That is what's going to get them interested in your creative angle, in your innovative solution, is that you really show that you understand what they're going through and what they want. Now, if you've been listening to today and thinking, okay, all right, I may have been misapplying the blue ocean and I do not know how to use this language of my clients to better position myself. One, I want you to know you are not alone. And two, this is exactly the work I do with clients with my package or process framework. I'm here to help you not sound like everybody else, but to leverage the power of known language, often boring language that sets the context, that helps you sell your more innovative solution, that helps you connect to your ideal clients. The goal is to make you sound like the obvious choice for your best fit people. In our work together, we figure out what you actually need to say, what your clients already understand, and how to frame your innovative solution so it lands and people say yes on the spot. If you feel like you know what you do, but you have had trouble communicating it with this kind of clarity, head to greateststorycreative.com/consult. Set a free 20-minute consultation with me now, and we can take a look at what might be keeping your message stuck in an empty ocean. For today, let's recap. Blue Ocean Strategy is about innovating the solution, not inventing creative messaging. Differentiation matters, but it doesn't move the needle unless you start with connection. Overused language often is just client language, and relatable, naturally chosen client words, those are what get you found by your favorite people. Because if you avoid clear words that people recognize, you don't put yourself in a blue ocean, you strand yourself in the empty ocean. And I don't want you there. What I want you to become is a lighthouse, steady, visible, unmistakably clear. And that's why I'll be back next week to teach you lighthouse marketing, the one shift that turns you and your message into something people can spot from far away and move toward even before they're ready to buy. I'll see you then. Hey, do you like surprises? The credits are about to roll, but just like a Marvel movie, stick around to the end for something I put in just for you. Thanks for listening to the Establish Yourself podcast. I'm Annie Franceschi, and if you're enjoying the show, it would mean so much to me if you follow it, leave a quick rating, or share it with a friend. And for free branding resources and more ways to work together, head to greateststorycreative.com/podcast. Now here it is, your moment of magic. So I've been working on stand-up comedy as a hobby, and one of my favorite things to do is to ask Leo for jokes. And I'm so proud because he said, "Yo, mom, I think you should end every joke with waka waka." My work here is done. I have peaked as a parent. Our Muppet Babies era is here, friends.